Today is August 19th, which is this channel's first birthday. Also, my dad happens to be coming over for a visit. We're gonna grill up some salmon, and I'm gonna see if I can get him to sit down on camera and talk about his experience through my whole drug addiction and prison sentence and all of that. So let's see how it goes.
Forgot to put down the tin foil, so we made a mess, grilled it like in the old days.
Yeah.
We'll put it in there and you can do your film.
All right.
We're celebrating.
1 year ago today, I posted my first video. So it's the Smiles for Miles YouTube channel, 1 year. Birthday.
Yay!
Okay, well the wind is coming in from the window outside. You want to blow it out with me?
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, wait a minute. We have to, what are you gonna make a wish?
Well,
Are you gonna
I think
pound
we do,
me?
Yeah. Yeah. And let's see, a wish. Can't say what the wish is, or it won't come true. So.
All right, we'll both make one.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Woo. Happy year. 1 year.
Yeah, there's fish on it. I'm gonna put it over here. All right, let's eat. All right, that's yours and this is mine. Yeah. So what do you want to talk?
Oh,
On YouTube?
well, let's see here. This is my son, in case he didn't say that. My oldest son.
Your oldest son.
I don't know
that's right. About your other son.
You're the only one. Yeah, that's right. So,
Unless there's one I don't know about.
but anyways, went through some hard times and getting it together.
What do you think about all that? How's the last 3 years been for you?
Well,
Or 4, I guess it would be more because
Yeah.
I was doing really bad before
that's right.
I got arrested. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember you saying something about it was actually a relief when I got arrested.
Oh yeah, because I thought the calls in the middle of the night were going to be that you're dead.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And you asked me earlier today at the barber, when did I start getting gray hair? Well,
Right? This guy's 71 and his hair is
still on my
still
head.
brown and on his head. I'm lucky. I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, he's going to have good hair.
Yeah. How did you find out that I was on drugs?
Well, you know, I knew when you're in college, you're going to try alcohol and drugs, and I just thought you had enough sense to, regulate it.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I knew that it's going to be things going on your way at college.
Yeah.
And but I just didn't know that you got hooked and you're going to take it to that level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't either, obviously. Nobody plans to do that. You just end up there, but yeah. Oops.
No.
Yeah, no, I can say it wasn't like my plan to become a heroin addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you were 4 going, hey, Daddy, look, there's a train, and I'm going to be a heroin addict.
Yeah, I know, right? Was it after I got divorced that you found out that I was doing... Oh, no, because
No.
you knew I went to rehab. And
Yeah,
stuff.
sure.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah, I was coming down to visit you. So,
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I went to rehab.
Yeah, so it was before that. So
Yeah.
what year was that?
I went to rehab in 2019.
Okay.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was 2019 when I got out at the end. No, yeah, end of 2019.
So that's when I knew it was a problem, when you went.
Yeah.
So the summer of 2019.
And
then
then
that's when I knew it was a problem.
Yeah. And then I came, I got out of rehab, and it was about 6 months later that I started using again. But so then I got divorced and moved in with you. And when I moved in with you, did you know that I was?
Oh yeah,
You can
because
tell already?
Well, yeah, I was asking you all the time, how you doing? What are you doing? Have you been doing drugs? And of course you were, and saying you weren't.
Yeah, of course. That's just lying about everything. Everything, which is crazy because I don't have like a dishonest nature really, I think, but drug addiction just can make you a liar, like a real...
Yeah, because I didn't
It just makes
I
you
didn't
such
even
a
detect
liar.
the lies because you never were a liar. Even as a little child, you would suffer a punishment to keep from telling a lie where you could have lied, and you just wouldn't lie. So
Yeah, so that's gotta be so confusing. It must be confusing when you, I mean, just,
Well, it's confusing and it's, it makes you worry, makes you uh, stress a bit.
a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
But you're doing great now. So
yeah,
that's good.
yeah. I know that time that the one thing I feel so bad about still is that when you told me about how, like that experience you had when I crashed the car.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the policeman, here it's 2, 3 in the morning. Actually, I think it was later, I think it was like 3 or 4. And here's who's at the door? And so I go to the door and I see the flashing light outside through the window, and open it up, and there's a policeman, and I just about fell back on the stairs because I said, okay, here it comes. He's going to tell me he's dead. Especially when he says, does Brian Collins live here? Do you know Brian Collins? Here it comes. And so, anyways, and it turned out we crashed the car and walked away from the car, and we weren't dead, which was pretty good.
Yeah, that's a relief. I know. I remember I was going to stay with the car when I was out there, and I was thinking, I'm fine, like I'm just gonna, whatever. But
Act sober, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's gonna be okay. Like, and I crashed my car. I don't know if you guys have heard the story on another show, but I had crashed the car like up into just like off the road, like almost into somebody's house, up this rock wall. And yeah, and I was thinking, like, when I got out of the car, like I literally had to open the car door like a hatch to climb out. And so I'm standing there, I'm like, oh, and then I'm just like, whatever, I'll just wait for the cops. I'll just tell them I, dozed off or whatever.
Yeah, but you called somebody, they said, get out of there, I think.
Yeah, I was actually trying to go, like somebody was waiting for me to get heroin from me. And so they were like, you can't stay there, they're going to take you to jail. And I was like, well, I'll be fine. And then they just were like, we'll come get you right now, just get away from the car. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But damn, that's crazy. Like that is I think about that all the time. Just that specifically, I feel like that's like the culmination of so many things of just a moment, like all in this moment where it's just like the most horrible experience apart from actually having died is like, that's like just terrible. And just everything I put you through, I feel so horrible about it. And then after that too, just you guys, having to worry about me not knowing what was going on, where I was just riding around in this van, who knows where, doing whatever.
Yeah, I was worried about that too. I was trying to keep track of you more than you know. I'd drive by the campground and, okay, the van's there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then so, I did that a lot of times that you didn't know about.
No, I never knew about
the campground or wherever the ones you were using. And so just to see that you're still there.
Jeez.
But all the things we do leads us up to where we are now in everybody's life. And so maybe it takes that to get you here and to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't go through all that, you'd still be wondering what you're going to do, wonder what it's about. And, and still have those things. It's like, you don't want to get to the end of your life and say, I wish I would have done that thing I thought about. You don't want to have regrets like that. Of course, getting hooked on drugs is not something
Well, in retrospect,
we all did dumb things.
Yeah, I know. It was really dumb, though. That was really bad, though. Yeah, this is a different thing than just, like, doing some dumb things. It's just a horrible, period. And that's what I feel the most bad about is really just putting everybody else through what I put them through, especially, like, you.
Oh, yeah. That's why we couldn't tell your grandma.
Yeah.
I actually had to lie to her, and because she would have not been able to sleep. She would have been in the hospital.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't tell her till you were done with it. Okay, then, I was making this lie that you were on the PCT, you were up in Canada, that's why she can't get a hold of you. And so...
Oh, this was when I was running around or after I got arrested?
Well, after the rest of all through prison. The whole prison thing, so it was for a year or two. And so anyways, finally when you got out and everything, then I said, okay, here's the deal. And told her the truth.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I got arrested, you were like, this is the better situation?
Well, I actually considered calling the cops.
Oh, really?
I almost did, and I was looking into buying trackers to hide in your van underneath it with a magnet on it. And
I didn't know any of that.
Oh yeah, I was going to track your van, and I was going to say and I even mentioned to Brittany, I think I should call and just have him arrested because you were going to die.
Mm.
And you did, almost.
Yeah, I almost
You
did.
went to the hospital how many times? Once, twice?
No, I don't think I ever went to the hospital. I went to the hospital when they arrested me the first time because I had an abscess on my arm. And so as soon as I got into county jail, they saw the abscess when they were like making me change, and they said, we have to take you to the hospital because it was like gigantic. I can't remember, it was on, I forget which arm it was on. I had a weird thing in my muscle. It was this one. So they took me to renowned emergency room hospital that I worked at. And when I was in there, I was looking around like I'm going to see somebody that I went to school with or that I worked with. This is so intense. Like I was just like whatever. And then the doctor that came in, I recognized him, but he didn't know who I was. I just recognized him because I'd seen him around. But and I was like, oh, I wonder if he'll double take at me or anything, like if he remembers my face, but he didn't.
I was going to read your name too.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have known me. Like he didn't work. I hadn't seen him much because I worked up in ICU and we were down in ER. It was. But anyway, they took me back. But the other time I think I was in the hospital that you were talking about is I had that girl Haley with me, and she had to go to the hospital for some reason, and I was with her. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I just went with her. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you had that time in the car that she actually tunneled out.
Yeah, that I actually almost died. That was the closest I got.
And they had, what was it?
The Narcan.
Narcan to bring you back. Yeah.
I haven't told that story on this channel, or the car crash story or anything on this channel. I told it on the other channel, so maybe I'll before I get off house arrest. No, I told it when I was on Matthew Cox's show.
Oh, okay.
But I never made episodes about those, so this is kind of all new to people if they haven't heard that. But I'll get
that's
into that.
A long way to go downhill, you know.
Yeah, and it was just like there was nowhere else to go. It was like the bottom. And I think that was a big part of why I was able to come out of it so fully is because like I went so fully to the bottom.
You have to hit the bottom to get out. That's been said many times.
Yeah.
But the whole going to jail, I read books that actually your ex had, and I almost said her name, but she doesn't want her name. So, anyways, she had books, and I was reading those books about drug addiction and what it takes to get off of it. And it said, it takes 2 years. You better 2 years minimum to get off of heroin.
Yeah, that's what they say. I think there's so much speculation about like what actually the brain healing process is like and da da da. I really think it's like individualistic. I've heard people say 3 years before you're completely, re-healed or whatever, and you've made new circuits. But I don't think they actually know.
It's rewiring the head.
Yeah, I think everybody is so different.
Yeah.
Everybody's experience is so different that you can't really say that. Because my experience was when I got in there, it took me a good 6 months probably before I really stopped, even before I like even the consideration of doing it completely went offline. Like I was still, when I was in the first few weeks, obviously I was withdrawing. First couple months I was withdrawing, and I would always think like if I got some of that right now, I would so do it. And then I had made the decision that I was gonna not do it anymore, but I still felt like I wanted to. That lasted up until about a month or so after I was actually in prison. Yeah. So I was in county jail for 4 months, fish tank for a month, so 5 months. So about the 6 month-ish mark is when, like I had already decided I wasn't going to do heroin anymore, but I still had this idea that maybe I'll smoke some meth. And when I got to prison. And then when I just kind of saw everything that was going on there and like just the way the difference between the people who were doing drugs and the people who weren't, and just what they were going through just to get high, I was just like, this is absolutely absurd. Like, and I just completely, at that point, I just lost the desire, and it's never come back. I just completely dropped it out.
Yeah. If you're doing the drugs, you don't notice how you're being, how you're acting.
Yeah.
I've seen this.
I thought I was fine all the time. Like I thought everybody.
Oh sure.
But like you must have.
You know, when I used to party with my friends, we'd get drunk together. Everybody was fine. But then when I just stopped drinking for that year and wanted to get my body in shape, same thing. Went to the parties with it, and man, they're starting to act really stupid. You know.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a minute. I had to be with them too, acting stupid too. I go, man, this ain't the way to be.
Yeah, I've done that, and that since I've been out, and I've been at, when I went to Brittany's wedding and stuff, whatever, just in the, like, being over at her house before the wedding and everything, living there, and having people come over, and they were having parties. They because I was on house arrest, they had to do, because it wasn't go out. It wasn't. I was living at my sister's house when I first got out, and so they weren't allowed to have alcohol at the house because it was my, cell, just like here. And everybody had to get approved to come over, and there was, but they were allowed to be drunk in the house if they wanted to, but they couldn't have alcohol in the house. Yeah. So they made a car bar.
Technicality.
Yeah, it's like, this is so stupid. Like, so they had to go out to the car to drink, and then
across the street. Couldn't be on the property, across the street.
And you have to go out in the public street to drink, so that you don't get
where they could get hit.
Yeah, where they just drink out of the car. It was so funny. But anyway, everybody was getting drunk there. I remember having a really good time with everybody, but also just being like, at a certain point, you're
seeing
like,
how their personalities change.
You're just like, at some point, everybody just gets stupid, and you're not inebriated at all, and so you're just kind of like you listen to the conversations that when I was involved and I was drinking, I would be in and be like, this is so, and really I feel like we're bonding and stuff, and then you just listen from the outside when people are doing that or they're sober. It's just like, they're just this is the stupidest thing.
Film it sometime.
I know. And you feel like it's all intimate at the time, but then it's not really, because like the next day everybody's just like, what happened, Anyway, do you have anything else you want to say? This is kind of the first.
I'm very proud of my kids, both of them. My son, of course, Brian here, and my daughter, Brittany Bond. I call her by her middle name, Bond. They're extraordinary, and everybody, parent, thinks their kids are extraordinary and shit. But mine are special.
Aww. Yeah, that's very sweet of you to say, especially after everything I've put you through. I love you.
All right, we did it. I hope you enjoyed that conversation. I know I did. I am so lucky to have such loving and accepting and tolerant parents, especially after everything I've put them through. I love my dad very much, and I love my mom very much. Hopefully I'll get her on here at some point once I'm off house arrest, because she lives a little bit further away, so it's a little bit harder to see her, but hopefully not so much in the near future. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.